That we should be taxing the rich and raise taxes on the rich?
Yes, raise taxes on the rich.
Most definitely, you should definitely tax the rich.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and raise taxes for the rich.
The wealthy are hoarding too much of the money. They're not giving the workers on the bottom level enough money to make or like a standard living for themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, personally, as like a middle class, I feel like it should be raised, but like at a point, it's like the rich are not going to agree with it because they're going to feel like, why them?
Who would you define as the rich? What would be the threshold money-wise?
I don't know, like, upper class, like.
I feel like, I guess like if you take like a company in like the top like 350, like Amazon, like people making like over like millions of dollars a year, something like that.
$500K, $500,000. Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea. Probably like more than six digits, maybe. I think somebody that like has like a good paying job, like usually works like inside like a business or like a doctor, lawyer, one of those people.
I would say they make at least, 6 to 7 figures a year, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they should like get taxed by at least, let's see, half their income.
If you make it over like $300K salary, I feel like you should be taxed.
How much should the $300,000 a year earners be taxed, and then should that go up the more you make?
Yeah, it should definitely go up the more you make. I'm not sure how much they should be taxed because I don't know.
They lower it for the rich, so they pay less.
Would you be on board with these big tax hikes for the 1% of income earners?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think the top 1% of income earners? What do you think that threshold is? $1 million?
Above $1 million, I think.
$1 million. 50 to 100 million a year.
Probably like millions, maybe even billion, who knows?
Got to be a millionaire, billionaire?
I don't know, like $1 billion.
It's actually
Man, I weep for our kids in college. I weep for these students. I mean, their answers are unbelievable. Like, what do you think the upper tax is? $1 million? $1 billion? Anyways, let's continue.
$1,000 a year to be in the 1%.
Okay.
Less than you thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, way less.
You support raising taxes on people making that?
Do like the top 20% then.
Do you think that the top 1% pays their fair share?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like they do.
But you want to tax them more?
Yes.
Yes!
They already pay their fair share?
I mean, I guess I cut them a little slack. You know what I'm saying? I guess they pay their fair share.
I cut him a little slack, Jake. Right? I cut him a little slack, Jake.
Is raised?
Nope.
How much do you think the 1% pay in taxes currently?
Like nothing.
Rich people don't even pay taxes. Donald Trump wasn't paying taxes, and he got more money than all of us.
The top 1% pays more in federal income taxes than the bottom 90%, and the bottom rest of the country. They make about 20% of the total income in the United States, and they pay 40% of all taxes.
Really? Wow.
Really? Wow. I had no idea. All that air escaping from my head. I had no idea. Really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Oh, really? Come on, guys.
That does surprise me.
Hearing that,
That's a little much.
does it sound like the 1%, the wealthy, maybe do pay their fair share?
They probably do, yeah.
I think so.
I think so. Why were you asking me all these questions? I'm just a college student, okay? I have no idea. I don't even know how much money I have in my purse.
90%, that's cool. Maybe a little less. They still got families too, so.
So after hearing that, you think maybe they should pay a little less than they're paying?
Yeah, pay a little less.
Okay.
I feel like they should be taxed, but maybe not that much.
Oh, jumping in?
Jump in.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Jump in, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
If someone makes $750,000 a year, how much of that money should they be taxed?
750, 10%? That's a lot, 5%.
That's a lot lower than what they're taxed now.
I love this girl. 10%, that's right. $750,000, 10%. You only pay $75,000. Then she goes, wait a minute, that's a little bit too much. 5%. Because this girl's probably thinking she wants to be part of that 1%er. She doesn't want to pay a bunch in her taxes. Good for her.
Jesus. But for why?
I think federally they would pay somewhere in the 30s, 30%.
I mean, that's already a lot.
That's a good question. Maybe they are
That's already
paying
a
their fair
lot.
share.
Maybe, yeah.
That's kind of scaling unfair, if you ask me.
Change the way you think about taxing the rich a little bit.
But yeah, knowing that does change my opinion.
Yeah, it does.
Do you think that phrase has been kind of thrown around too much and it's a little vague and there's not a lot of really clarity to it?
Yeah, for sure. Because people think rich, they think freaking Mark Zuckerberg or some stuff. Like, when you bring up that price, you said, like, how much is...
To be in the 1%, the threshold would be making $538,000 in a year.
Making that compared to what Mark makes, and then people generalizing that. Like, that... It's too much that goes into it to make it such a general question. You have to throw more information out there and be more specific to who should be taxed and why they should be taxed. They should be taxed for sure.
That girl right there, out of all the students, at least she's thinking a little bit. Wasn't just going with the flow and, you know what, oh yeah, tax the rich, you know, take it, tax the rich. This girl articulated a position. Now, she could have a differing position. She could be coming out there and saying, you know what, let me hear the facts, put it into context. What are we talking about? How much? And then, you know, come up with a position as to why you feel that should be the taxable rate, and then try to go ahead and persuade somebody to say, you know what, it should be 60% or 70%. Why? And then what would happen if it was reversed? Would you be willing to accept the same rate you want to give to anybody else?
Who would you trust more to handle your money, you or the federal government? Who do you think could put it to better use?
I choose myself because at the end of the day, generational wealth. Like, I have to think about my future, my family's future.
Generational wealth. Think about her future, her family's future, and down the line, a legacy. This girl is absolutely spot freaking on. She wasn't even going to be part. She just joined in the conversation. Good for her.
Sure, I know what I want to do with my money because it's my money.
The more you talk, the more I think you're becoming less and less a fan of taxes.
Never liked them.
So this girl right here, just like the interviewer is asking her and saying, looks like you're not that big a fan of taxes. She goes, no, not really. Excellent. It just shows the views out there on campus. These kids are not even working yet. They don't even have jobs yet. So it's so easy. And you hear the mantra from the left and the progressives, you know, tax the rich, as we've talked about. But what it comes down to it is that what's going to happen when it's your turn to be taxed? And somebody's determining how much of your money somebody should be taking. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel, hit that like, share button. You know what to do. Check out our links above and below. We certainly hope you take the time to do so. We certainly appreciate the time you took to watch. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right, like this girl here. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Until then, take care and stay safe.